we had started our discussion on intelligence, and we were just trying to see what it is to understand what is intelligence, what it is to see how we understand individual differences when it comes to intellect and functioning. And also we will slowly today try and see if we can work a little on other aspects, like we have emotional intelligence, from where we have EQ, that is emotional quotient, and social intelligence, where we can also discuss about SQ, that is social quotient. Based on various research findings and theories, other concepts that evolved in intelligence is, one is general factors, that is the prevalence of only one IQ component, or that they explain that when there is one test, then it gives you a score, and that actually explains the IQ of a person. There is also another factor that came up, saying specific factors. This explains more than one IQ, and it can be derived after testing several areas of an individual. This, I think, makes us more comfortable that we have several areas, several domains, and we may be good in one and may not be good in the other. So, this multiple intelligence, actually research has shown that there is the existence of 7 facets of intelligence, like bodily kinesthetic, linguistic, logical mathematical, musical, self-understanding, social success, and spatial. See, there are so many areas that we need to look into. For each of the 7 intelligences, it is indicated that there are separate neural structures associated with them, that each has separate developmental history, that a person can be very good in one area and poor or mediocre in others, and each area can be dominant because of the influence of culture. For example, let us take a house of a famous musician, and he has actually supported to children, his children, learning music right from childhood. You will find that here grasping music, comprehending music, and also developing and perfecting the skill will be very easy for this child compared to another classmate of this child, for example. So, if this child shows very high score on this musical ability, he may have mediocre scores in another level, maybe the vocabulary, the linguistic intellectual capacity. So, this is what they try and say, that there are 7 facets and we have different domains where we may be good in one and probably not so good in the other. In my clinic, I have a lot of concerned parents who, thanks to our culture, they take a lot of sincere responsibility to work towards the future of their children. They ask for assessments to guide and support their children, and also most often they come so that they can see and come to terms with their children's limitations. Now, what I would like to say is that we have several techniques to improve abilities and recognize and sharpen skills required by each child. Here I would like to say that we give individual attention, and today the concept of holistic therapy and treatment is so much in vogue. So, we practice, apart from making an assessment, apart from making a grade of where this child is, we provide specific modules so that these techniques will help this particular child, along with several yoga techniques that will benefit the physiological as well as the mind of the child, to sustain the pressure, today's pressure. Today, you know how the world is becoming so competitive, and each little child has to really work hard and show his intellectual capacity. Each child or adolescent is specially evaluated, not to be compared, but to determine a module for their future support. Here it is important to understand what roles do motivation and emotion play in intellectual performance. You know, as a psychologist, this has always interested me, and I would like to always share this with all viewers that we always think when it is about intelligence, we have to just see the rationality in learning and disseminating what we have learnt. But here there is so much of research that has already gone into saying that emotions and motivation play a role. See, many of us have math phobia. You will agree? Several students detest math course, math homework, math test. If you have particular intellectual likes or dislikes that can influence your performance on tests and exams, then you are showing the effect of motivation and emotion on intellectual performance. This is what I would like to drive into each parent specially. Please check this out in your children. And very importantly, it must be identified in children as early as possible. Early school period itself, if we identify, then we can do a lot. Today, yoga therapy can start very early, and that is one of the best ways to begin the remedy. Today, meeting a psychologist is not a shame anymore. In fact, well-being, wellness, these are the concepts for which I have more clients compared to coming in with illnesses or difficulties and complaints. Well, I would like to say that it is very necessary, and also research has indicated that there are two general goals that children seem to have when undertaking intellectual activities. Some children seem to adopt performance goals. These children seem to be motivated by not wanting to look foolish. They want to look smart and not receive negative evaluations from their friends, classmates or their teachers. They believe that they have fixed intelligence and it is best assessed by how well they do on intellectual tasks. In situations that demand quick, accurate and correct performance, they tend to perform well. There are other children who tend to be motivated by learning goals. They try to improve, they try to grow smarter by learning new skills and knowledge. They believe that intelligence is a set of skills and knowledge that can be increased through hard work, more and more efforts. These children do well in tasks which require efforts and new learning. So, we should be able to first and foremost identify what type of children are we dealing with, what kind of children are around us. So, this is going to make not only the child comfortable, but also the family comfortable when it comes to understanding intelligence and intellectual capacity. This now helps us to also understand the connections and the strengthening of these connections between the IQ, intelligence quotient, EQ, the emotional quotient, and also SQ, the social quotient for the child or even individuals who are performing in their job situations need to balance these quotients. I am sure you will agree. Today, skills training that usually I take up in schools and colleges is to enhance and improve intelligence, and especially we look at specific areas like helping people with their emotional quotient, relationship quotient and several other demanding areas.